episode is about a topic that is very dear to my heart: bilingual books, bilingual children. I have written and published and translated books, bilingual books myself. So it is my pleasure to welcome to Homeschool Ways podcast another author of children's books, bilingual children's books, Heidy Espinosa Flores. She is the author of the Coco-Nuts Holiday Story Collection. So, Heidi, welcome to the show. And can you take us back to the moment that inspired this delightful story about a family of coconuts? What precisely drew you to these quirky characters as guides through Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas? And how did your own multicultural background shape their bilingual world?
Thank you so much for having me on, Adriana. To be honest, I will tell you, the whole family is my family. So there is mom, there's dad, and there's two kids. Same thing here. We are I am the only parent that is bilingual. So my husband only speaks one language. I speak two languages. So trying to raise my son into learning a different language was a little bit challenging, right? Because I feel so bad when he will, mix the languages and then my husband is like, what did he say? I didn't want that, to happen with him. So I had to stop trying to teach him both languages because I felt like I was confusing him. People were telling me maybe he's going to be confused later on. He's too small. He's 3 now. So I said, I need to find a way to, sort of make it easier for him. So I came up with the idea of writing stories for him, not for books. So I started like creating little families, little stories, because I'm very good creating like stories. So I said I started with a dinosaur family, but then I said, wait a second, he's actually learning, he's actually liking this. Maybe I can do this for other families, right? So I said, I don't know what should I do with dinosaurs, and then I said, let me actually do something different. So I started with the coconuts because I am from the Dominican Republic. And anyone that knows my country or, my culture, they relate us to palm trees and coconuts, right? Because there's a lot of them back home. So I said, oh, that would be fun. But then a fruit that talks. So that was kind of, I was a little hesitant with that. But then that's where it comes from. The kids, though, in the book, my son is 5 months. My other one is 3 years old. On here, this one, the smaller one, which is River, he is 3 and the oldest is 5. So I kind of like, made them a little older so they can actually talk in the book. And yeah, and to be even more like to relate it even more to my family, that is my kid. Those are my kids' middle names. So this is River. So my son is Hendrix River, and this is Blue. His name is Jackson Blue, my next son. So yeah, so that's how we came up with the whole idea. And Mama Coco, which is me, she's actually not from where they live. They just moved to this place called Shelltown. She's from Coco Bay originally, so she's not from the area. That is the one that is from the area, so it's like a whole trip. So
Right,
yeah.
right. There's a lot of parallels. Very good. So, for families that are new to your book, paint us a quick picture. How does the story weave Spanish vocabulary seamlessly into the English narrative, making it feel like a natural fiesta rather than a lesson? And what's one word or phrase that you're especially proud of introducing to young readers?
For sure. So the way that I thought about introducing it is the way that I'm trying to teach my son. This is the only way he's interested in learning because he's 3, right? You show him a book with lessons and he's like, too many words. Let me see the illustrations. What's the story? Like, that's boring. That's what he will tell me. And I'm like, Jackson, it's not boring. I'm trying to teach you, a different language. But then I notice how if you don't try to translate the words, he will actually be interested in. So basically, when I say in the book, I said Mama Coco said something like, you're asking me which words I'm proud to introduce. Is gracias, which is thank you, and family, which is familia. So I don't have a parallel words, sentences in the book where I have English and Spanish. I have them together. That way, you're not, you know, sort of repeating the same thing to the kids. You're actually weaving the actual words in the story so they understand. For instance, Mama Coco, she says, "I am thankful. I'm thankful for my beautiful, kind familia," instead of instead of family, instead of me trying to, change the words. So this way, they immediately understand what she's trying to say. And the whole purpose, the whole idea of the book is it's for any kid, even if you don't speak Spanish, even if your parents are not bilingual, you can learn new words and it doesn't feel as a lesson for them, right? So they learn and, they have fun while reading the stories.
Yes, and see, when I wrote my book, I put a paragraph in English and a paragraph in Spanish. And I like what you did because that's the unique part about your approach is that you kind of made it Spanglish.
Yes.
If you've seen that movie, and I think we're all familiar with Spanglish, where we mix in words in a sentence. The sentence keeps flowing in English, and now and then, boom, there's the word in Spanish. And I think a lot of people speak that way. If you've been anywhere and there are Hispanics around and you listen to what they say to each other, especially the younger kids whose English is actually better than their Spanish, they'll talk to their parents in English and then all of a sudden they'll pop in a Spanish word. I used to live with a Puerto Rican family. I consider them my American family, and they spoke like that to each other. It was so funny because I understand enough Spanish where I knew exactly what they were saying, but it was just so out of the blue, boom,
I know,
here's a
I know.
Spanish word. So let's start with the first session. So you had Halloween, you had Thanksgiving and Christmas highlighted as three different holidays. There are things happening to the family. And Halloween kicks off the adventures, which with a lot of energy, a lot of playful energy, costumes, tricks, treats. How did you infuse that fun with the Coconuts family bond? And what subtle cultural nods to Dias de los Muertos or Latin American traditions did you sneak in for the parents that are eagle eye that could, they could spot it? It's subtle, but it's there.
Yes, 100%. So basically, what I was trying to do there with the Halloween part of the story, because I know that for a lot of kids, because that's what happened to my son. Again, a lot of the things that I do, and try to project is because of my own experience with my son. So, what was his approach to Halloween himself, right? Like I was trying to teach him, why do we have to go ask for candy, and why do we have to? He has a lot of questions for me. So to me, it's more about it's because we're just doing it for fun, right? So I'm trying to teach him, right, that it's Halloween is more about dressing up and customs and showing yourself out there, being confident. That's something he struggled with. But if I tell you that this year he said, I want to be like Blue from the book. I want to be him. I want to be confident. And I'm like, oh, so he actually learned it from the book. He reads this. I mean, he doesn't read the book because he doesn't know how to read, but he listens to it. He's like, Mom, can you play me the book? Because, in the book, you have the option to read it, to listen to it out loud. And that was another thing I did because I know that there are kids like my kid that don't know how to read yet. So what I was trying to do with that part of the Halloween wasn't really trying to teach him the culture as per se, but I was trying to teach him that it's, whatever it is that you do, just have fun, be confident, and just go out there. Don't be afraid of saying trick or treat, and just have fun. And that's what he was doing in there.
Right. So then we move on to Thanksgiving. And
Yes.
in the book, it's not just about the feast, it's a heartfelt reminder to cherish what we already have. And, I think we all can use more of that gratitude mindset in our minds, adults and children. Can you share a personal family story that influenced this theme and how the coconut's realization might help kids shift from wanting more to grateful hearts?
100%. I wrote it. There is something behind it. My son, you'll give him a toy. Let's say he loves number blocks. I don't know if you familiarize with them. He loves number blocks because he loves numbers. And we gave them 1 through 5. He's like, "Where's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?" I'm like, "Jackson, we know one set of toys at a time." He was very upset, and I was trying to make him, realize that it's okay to just, whatever we get, we have to be grateful for whatever it is that we get. He's like, "What does that mean, grateful? Can you explain it?" Like, this is the questions my 3-year-old will ask me. And I'm like, it means that we're okay with what we have, and we always have to, be grateful with, what we can get, what God brings to us. And what, your daddy goes to work, he's a very hard worker, he comes home, we have a meal, we have this. And to me, it's very important to teach it now, when they're actually, or to, to help parents teach it, because it's important now more than ever when they're very small, because then they grow up to be like, "It's okay, I don't need that much, whatever I have is enough." And now every day when he wakes up, he's like, "Thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, God." Like, he's very grateful for, for everything that he has. So at least, that's what we're trying to teach for him. And that's what, I wish for other families.
Yes, and then the emotional crescendo of the story is Christmas.
Mhm.
Of course, it's teaching that giving is as joyful, if not more joyful, than receiving. What was it like crafting that message?
It was very fun. It was very fun, but very emotional at the same time, because I was trying to do it in a way that, didn't make the kids feel bad for another kid, because that's what the story is. It's River, the little baby. That's my gift. That's where you taking my gift, Crunch. Crunch is a little pet, little sneaky pet, and he is the one that takes the gift to the little kid. And then he's like, "Oh, it's okay. You can have my gift if you would like, you can come with my family," right? So he's not just sharing, but he's also inviting the kid over to the house, right? The little kid, to share with them a moment of, Christmas. He's alone. And what that's showing them is empathy. It's more than anything, is sharing the joy of giving, how good it feels to actually share with somebody else, but also how even better it feels to um, help somebody, in need of love. And, so.
Right. And as we all know, you're sitting there with a child. And I love the age group, age 3 through 7. I love that age group. My kids tease me sometimes that I'm a preschool teacher, and I've been teaching them through high school, and I love teddy bears. Uh, so, but they're there with you. They're small. They're listening to you. They can't read yet, or maybe they can a little bit, and they can follow along. It's just so much more than just vocabulary. Like you said,
Yes.
you're teaching them a lesson in character and values. And there's that warm presence of mom or dad. These are memories that we're building for life. I wanted to ask you, do you have a vision for like how homeschool parents or bilingual classrooms can use this book?
100%, yes. So basically, what we're doing in here, to be honest, more than anything, my brand, right, which is Follow Hope, Faith, Love, and Hope. That's what it means. That's what it stands for. Follow Hope Library. It's more than, telling a story or teaching Spanish, right? It's more about teaching, like, what's the meaning. Kids want to know, and when they're this age, when they're this small, it's important for them to have like something that is a meaning. Like, don't just um tell them a story and leave it there. I would love for them, like, if you're going to read, let's say, the Christmas one, like, what did you learn? How did you think the little boy felt after they went and had Christmas cookies, galletas, right? Cookies. Ask them questions, like, put them in their shoes. Like, if you were blue, what would you do if What's another thing you can do to feel confident, not just trick or treating, right? Like, what else can you do? It's about, read the book, read the stories, but also have them engage, because they, trust me, they do want to engage. They do want to participate. So I feel like, when they're this small, and we're helping shape their hearts and, their values and beliefs and, all the good things, we're able to actually have them join us. That's why it's important to sort of like always have them interact with you. Yes.
Yes, and I really enjoy the illustrations, and I have worked with an illustrator, another lady, for my book. So I want to know, without spoiling too much, how did you collaborate with your illustrator?
She's a mind reader, I'll be honest with you. Her name is Fatima. She is amazing. She's actually from Pakistan, and she is just delightful. Me and her, we were on meetings just like this. We were on two ways meetings where I could see what she was drawing, and she's very talented. Like, I will tell her, no, maybe we should, we were debating if we should have snow in Coco Bay, in Shelltown, because Coco Bay didn't have snow because it doesn't snow back home in DR, in Dominican Republic. So it's like, should we have snow? But then, we're like, yeah, let's have snow. So she's actually very good. She's amazing. She's a blessing. But she's not like an independent illustrator. She works for a company. So basically they have more illustrators. They have like it's a whole company. So when they match her with me, they're like, I know the girl for you. And I'm like, okay, sure. Because I've been working with this company for other things. So when I got introduced to her and she helped me put this to life, I was like, this is, it's better than what I expected, to be honest. And however, I was the one that did the characters. I came up with the characters, and then she was able to do everything else. And it was just she's really good.
Very good. So let's move on to some of the feedback you've already received from your child readers. Do you have a particular reaction to the book that you would like to share with us?
I would say he actually didn't buy the book yet, right? This boy I'm gonna talk about. And then he's 11. He was about 11 or 12. He came to my book launch. And he was like, "Hi, what do you have there?" Very confident little kid. And I'm like, "Oh, I have a book." He's like, do you write the book?" And I was like, "Yeah." "Oh, so you're an author." So fun. And I'm like, yeah. So he's like looking through the book, and he's like, I need to go get my sister. She's 5. She's gonna love your book. I'm like, okay. So he went and got his sister. This was Saturday. My lunch was Saturday and Sunday because it was at a fest. So they took the book. They bought the book. Came back the next day. They bought 3 more. They said we couldn't stop reading this book. It was so amazing. We got one for my cousin, one for my, for 3 different, one for my teacher, so she can read it to all the kids. And it was just so fun to me because he was 11. He's not on the age group, and he still loved the book. And he's like, I can't believe you did that. Way to go. Keep going, keep writing. And I'm like, okay, thank you. So to me, that moment when they came back the next day and gave me that feedback, and him being a little older, right, than my age group, that just gave me it was like, to be honest, he was all I'm trying to project in the future. He's like what I'm trying to help kids do. I'm trying for them to be more confident, to be kind, to be thoughtful, to be, and be themselves. So he came from the future, you know, to tell me that the book is amazing.
Yes, yes, that's
Yes.
wonderful. Yeah, it's a very good looking book. So
Thank
I
you.
can see how anybody would be attracted to the pictures, and then you get into the story.
Thank you.
So where can families grab a copy of your book?
Sure. They can go on my website. It is fallahopelibrary.com. Fallahop is FALOHOP. It just stands for Faith, Love, and Hope. Library.com. It's on there. It is on printing styles. Like, I have the board book, which is this one, very thick, very durable. I will get this one. I don't have that many left, but I will get this one if I were the families. There's also paperback, and I also have it available on animated edition. So I did that because there's a lot of people that are not in the U.S. and I only shipped here in the U.S. So if you're like in another country or Canada or Dominican Republic and you want to grab a copy of the book, you can do it as well, and it's instant download, so they can get it right away. And just that they know the movement. Every time you purchase a book, you get a book. We give one away. My whole goal that I have is selling 1 million copies and giving away 1 million copies to kids that don't have the opportunity to get stories or books like this, like me. It took me 14 years. It wasn't until I was 14 that I actually saw a book, a storybook. And I said, there are books that have stories. They're not all textbooks from school. And they're like, no, girl, there are books. I'm like, what? And it took me, I think I was 22 or 23. I'm 30 now. I just turned 30 this year. I think I was 21 or 22 when I first went to a library. And it was just magical for me. So I don't want kids to have to wait that long. So that's our movement that we have.
Oh, that's very good. That's a very inspiring story. I feel like we should have started with that part.
you know,
Very
I
good. So I will
I
put, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I love talking about the movement, and it's just beautiful because right now I didn't know how I was going to give these books away, but I knew I was going to. Like, I come from the Dominican Republic. I have family back home. I knew I was going to give some to the kids in DR. And to be honest, the book that I was giving away, it wasn't going to be this one. It's one that I'm finishing. It's one that I'm writing just for them, for the ones that cannot purchase the books. But since I have so much good feedback on this one, and everyone is like, wow, it's like magical. It's like good stories. I will give this one away until the holidays, and then I will keep on writing the other one, because the one that I'm giving away is about you can do anything you ever think. You can be whoever you want to be, and you can like achieve any goals you ever have, because not because whatever you are, whatever situation you're going through now doesn't define who you can be. So that's the kind of book I'm actually going to give away, and that one is not gonna be for sale. It's just gonna be for those kids that, yeah, we're giving the books for.
As a digital download, as a
No,
digital download.
no,
Okay.
this is gonna be no. I'm gonna print this for them.
You're going to actually print physical books.
Yes, I will print them for them, and I will send them in boxes. I already have like a place in Dominican Republic where I want to send them to, and I also have a place in Pakistan, thanks to Fatima and her team, and I also have a place here in Philadelphia, where there is a coffee shop. They have it's sort of like they do this every year with shelters and kids that don't have a home, or moms, dads, and yeah, so I said, yes, let's do it. So yeah, it's gonna be beautiful. I can't wait.
Yes, that's wonderful. So I will put a link to your website in the description and the show notes and on Spotify and so on. And then I know you have a social media presence, and everybody can go on your website and from there go to whatever platform they choose. And tell us as we land the plane, tell us. So your next project is the one that you just mentioned, specifically for the kids of DR, Dominican Republic. Is there anything after that?
So this one is for, it's not just for the Dominican Republic, for any kids that we're going to give the books for. It's for everybody that buys a book. Another kid gets one, right? So that's the one I'm working on, and I'm also working on 5 other books. But the next one that is coming, it's about a superhero. My son inspired that one, so it's about a superhero that's coming very soon as well, right after the holidays, because I gotta give this one all the pros I can. So I am working on that one. It's a superhero, and it's gonna be beautiful. People are gonna love it. Parents are just, they're gonna love it, and this is gonna be every kid's favorite book coming up.
I love the energy and the confidence. I very much admire, and I feel like we're kindred spirits. The content creation just oozing out of you. That's good.
I just love
That's
it.
very good.
I've never loved something this much before. Like I have, I'm an entrepreneur at heart, right? Like I'm always doing something, but this was not something I planned. However, I've been writing forever. Like someone asked my mom in front of me the other day, "Oh, so Heidi's a writer now?" No, she's always been a writer. She just never thought she could write, actual books. But yeah. Oh, I wanted to tell you that I did create a discount code for anyone that comes through this podcast to purchase the book through the website. So I will send it to you, but it's basically homeschooling ways. Think 04, I think I did. I'm not sure, but I will give it to you so that any one of your listeners, they can go and get 20% off their next book purchase.
Okay. Yes, we will include that link into the show notes. That way, everybody can get a good price. And
Yes.
I will have to sign off now. Thank you very much for your presence, and maybe you'll come back with the following titles. Why not into the next year, 2026? Thank you again for coming and for taking the time to write a bilingual book. We need that, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on and for inviting me over. Thank you so much.